The word freedom is one that is thrown about a lot. And until last year, I really didn't think too much about it, other than that one scene from Braveheart. To be honest, freedom seemed like a simple concept until I really began to think about it. The thing that inspired me was getting a mundane 9-to-5 job in an office. Before this job, I was working as a freelance trainer. I expected to feel completely trapped or have the same sort of complaints that the people on our antiwork on Reddit do, but instead, I felt weird. I felt free. My new job increased my credit score, I had a routine, I no longer needed to stress about finding clients, I just had to go to the office, do my work, and go home, and at the end of the month I got paid. Simples. And this made me think about freedom. And it got me to really ask the question, what is freedom? Freedom is a complex concept, and it's been debated by philosophers and thinkers for centuries. There's no single definition of freedom that's universally agreed upon, but in society we generally understand it to mean the ability to act or speak without constraint. Some common synonyms for freedom include liberty, autonomy, and independence. And freedom is often contrasted with slavery, oppression, and tyranny. But freedom is not one single thing though. There are many different types of freedom, including political freedom, which is the right to participate in government and to express one's political views without fear of reprisal. Economic freedom, the right to own property, to start a business and trade freely. Social freedom, the right to make one's own choices about one's own life, such as who to marry, what religion to practice and where to live. And personal freedom, the right to think for oneself and to act according to one's conscience. There are many other types of freedom, and all of these types of freedom have one thing in common, and that is the main point of this video. All freedoms involve one thing: choice. Let me break it down. In democratic countries, we have the freedom to vote for our leaders. In capitalism, we have the free market where anyone can start a business. And we live in an individualistic society where we are free to choose where to live and who to date. And freedom of speech, of course, means that no one is policing our thoughts. We are given choices. But paradoxically, this choice also denies us freedom in other areas. If I want the freedom to play a song on a guitar, for example, then I need to spend hundreds of hours practicing. I have to give up my freedom to do other things, to sit on my backside and practice. There's no way around it. If I want to have the freedom of a healthy body, I have to restrict my freedom to eat junk food. If I want the freedom that money brings, then I need to work for someone. If I want the freedom to work in the career that I really want to, then I have to become a student and follow the curriculum and rules of the school. And the point is that freedom is not absolute. There's always some sort of limit to our freedom, such as the need to obey the law and respect the rights of others. To be free is to have a choice, and to be free is to choose to give up on some things to get something better. So when I chose to work in that office, I gave up the freedoms of being my own boss, but instead I got the freedom from a lot of stresses in my life, at least for a little while. So what I really want you to know is that even if you're not feeling that you're, in quotations, free, maybe you're studying, working, learning something, writing, creating something, whatever you're doing, just because you have to give up time or can't do exactly everything you want to do right now, that doesn't mean that you aren't already expressing your freedom, because freedom is a choice. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, then please share it to websites such as Twitter, Facebook, or wherever to help other people see it. The show is only possible thanks to support from guys like yous. If you want to help support the show more, there's a link in the description to our Amazon page. Me and my friend Dan are currently writing books, and the proceeds will go towards helping us to support this channel. At the minute we only have one book out, and it's only $1 or 77 pence UK, so if you really want to help out, then please consider buying our book. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.